Buenos dias, sisters, friends. Buenos dias. I am here bright and early on a Friday, ready to work out because the work continues. Okay? The work continues. Whew. Buenas. Buenas. Maybe if I start on time today, I can finish up maybe at 45 minutes. Today's Friday. I have a lunch date. And then let's see what else. Whew, I always have something going on. And I thank God for that because I do not want to be idle. And I was reading something the other day, and this guy said, I've noticed though in my practice as a nurse that a lot of times I've worked with some people who've worked for like 40, 50 years, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to retire. I'm going to buy a camper. I'm going to travel, couples. And then a lot of times they don't get to enjoy that pastime that they planned for decades. That's why I tell people, if you have a goal, you have a dream, it doesn't matter what time it is, how old you are, if it's in your power to make it happen now, because tomorrow is not promised, right? So I'm trying to live my life like that. And of course, a lot of things I've come to understand. It's been late in life, right? Like in my 50s. I think that was my decade of enlightenment, if I wanted to call it that. That's a late bloomer for you, right? I was so busy getting caught up in the lie of success and accoutrement, I call them, meaning to get the house and upgrade the car and another stress. Oh, you have to go to school, get a master's degree, and your kids have to do 2, 3 sports, and you have to be on the boards of this and that, and be involved in the community. Oh my God! And when I look back and I see all the things that I have done, that's a recipe for madness. No wonder we have so much anxiety and depression and physical ailments. We were sold a bunch of lies, right? And I think, good morning, Denise, Cynthia, Greta, Lynette. Awesome. We bought into the lie for so long. Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow, they really got a handle of this, and that's why they've helped so many women, escape, because sometimes women have felt trapped, right? And even now, as older women, some women may want to escape, but they're just so tied in with family obligations and relationships that are toxic that they feel trapped. And it's a sad place to be, seriously. It's a sad place to be. So now this morning, ladies, I put this on, and I was putting these pants on, and I realized, I still have work to do. The roles are still calling my name, so today is day 16. So I've made some progress, but I'm not where I need to be. But I know I have 2 months, so there is hope. Let's keep pushing, right? So I was thinking this morning, I had my coffee, so watch out, I'm just wired. I'm instant. I used to drink a lot of decaf coffee because, especially to menopause, not my heart, but just I would be wired, I couldn't sleep, I would be up. Well, this morning, did I have coffee yesterday? Yes, because the day before, I didn't sleep very well, and I had a Spanish class in the evening, and by 4:30, I was sitting there trying to work on the computer, and I was just falling asleep. I'm like, okay, I need to show up for my students, so I had a cup of coffee late, And I knew it. I said, oh, that means I'm not going to be able to sleep. But I got tired around 11 or so. So I did go to bed around midnight. But then I was up at 5. So after 5, I'm like, let me just be up. So I was able to catch the sunrise because the sunrise is between 5:30 and 6 here in Panama. The sun was up at about 6:13, and in the evening, about 6:30, the sun sets. So you can pretty much bank on it. Those are the time that you have here. So I was up at 5, and of course, I'm strolling to my phone and watching the sunset, and I had another cup of coffee. So I'm ready for y'all this morning. Coffee makes me feel productive. It's like it gives me that little boost of energy. And they do say now, I don't drink more than 1 cup if I drink. And it's like usually 2 or 3 times a week. No more than that. So anything in moderation, ladies. So, this is good. So, as I said, I usually drink instant decaf. Now, one thing we have in Panama is good coffee. We grow it, especially in Chiriquí province where the temperatures are nice and cool. The ground is fertile, so you're able to get really good coffee. And the brand Duran, Duran, I like it, right? And in the States, people talk about Colombian coffee, Cuban coffee. I think the Panamanian coffee is better. So I fell in love with this iced coffee. And I think I took my friend Madiwa there last week where we went and had iced coffee. But the way I discovered the coffee, I usually get a latte at that place, which I like. And then I was warm one day when I came back from the States. I said, let me have some iced coffee. And I was not an iced coffee person. And it tasted so good. I'm like, oh, Duran. I think I posted something. But when I stood there to look at I think it's called La Creperie at Albrook, and then I realized they were using a different brand of coffee. They were using a coffee called Palo Alto, and it's in this bright orange and black thing. So I'm like, oh, it's not Duran. And I also find out that this is a brand that is produced by the people who make the geisha coffee. And if you know about the geisha coffee here in Panama, it's like the top creme de la creme of coffee, and they win every year. If they do a contest, they win. So I'm like, okay, if it comes from those folk, it has to be good. So guess what? I don't have a coffee maker because, like I said, I've always drunk instant. So now I'm like, I'm gonna have to get a coffee maker, especially my nephew's coming to visit in June with his girlfriend. So I'm gonna break down and go find me a coffee. I don't like the little, what do they call the pods, where you do the individual cure, I guess they call it. I don't want one of those. I want to brew the coffee. I'm Caribbean. I grew up with us growing our own coffee, and my grandma, who lived with us, used that cloth thing with like a metal ring to hold it, and that's you boil the coffee with the ground, I guess, and then you drip it, old fashioned. That's what I remember. So the adult would get the first flow, I guess, and then for us kids, she would boil some water and give us a watered down version, and it was really good coffee. So today, I need to get out of the house. I'm going to get out of the house. I'm meeting my friend, and then I need to go to Multi Plaza to do some banking. I'm going to stop at Reba Smith. I'm craving some okra, and that's one place sometimes they have it. because I don't want to go to America. It's just too hot. So, and then I want to go to Cinco de Mayo because I'm out of pineapple and papayas, and I have to have these things in my house because those are my fruits. So, we're lopsided again. Whew. But anyway, good. Doing something different and embracing the moments. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we accept it and believe into the lies. Girl, all right. Let's start with, we're going to keep, even though I still have my rings here, right? And I know I have no butt, but I can see waist definition. And that's when you start losing the fat here, the love handles. My sister told me one time, she said, sis, you lose your love handle if you lose weight. I said, oh, she's right. Because some of us, this is a blessing that God has given us with his love handle. He's showing how much he loves us. But the thing let's start doing with the knees. The thing I was thinking about this morning, I'm not necessarily a fan of Oprah Winfrey because some of the things she believes in, I don't. But I admire her as a businesswoman. I mean, listen, she's a billionaire. That's not the like. I don't think she cares whether I like her or not, right? But she's beautiful. Oprah is 70. She looks amazing. But if I had all those dollars, I'd look pretty good too. But anyway, she said something, she's friend with, what's that girl from CBS, her best friend. And she said, do not, she's a reader, which is high on my list. If somebody is a reader, I think they can think. The people who are so dumbed down and stupid and believe everything somebody says, that's the danger we are in right now. People have never read a book. And I said, one time I posted something Martin Luther King said, all it takes for evil to flourish is for good men to do nothing. Listen to that, right? So if you see injustice or whatever it is, and you stay silent, and it doesn't affect you or bother you, you're the problem. And then I remember this guy responded, well, that's your opinion, right? So that shows you that person has not read. And people who are primed for, being brainwashed or whatever, are those folks who have not, read because they don't know how other people think. That somebody could have an idea that is sort of different from yours, and it should be okay. We're not a monolith. We don't have all to look the same, think the same. God help us. But Oprah said, she's a reader, and she said, do not allow anyone with a hint of jealousy to be in your private space, right? A person who can feel jealous of you can't be your friend, cannot be your friend. If I am doing something and you can't be genuinely, not just lip service, genuinely happy for me as I would be for you, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. And that's why my friends are few. I have lots of acquaintances, right? And I can read people very well. That is a gift that God has given me. Sometimes people pretend to like you or tolerate you, but deep down, they have that, who does she think she is? Well, God has given me some gifts, not the same gifts that He's given you. We are all gifted. And that's why we should acknowledge our gift, use our gifts, and support someone else to develop their own gifts. And together, we can make the world a better place, right? We cannot all be the same. And I think this is one of the things that really saddens me. Because as women, oh my God, we have so many issues. I've been watching a lot of Asian drama, and then it's like the same things come to the fore. How women are just ignored, abused, just blocked from, benefiting from the same things that men benefit from. And sisters, I don't have any hope that this will ever change. I don't have any hope that even in these United States, where we talk about we're the example to the world, we're still not able to elect a woman president. That's because of the paternalistic nature. They don't see you as smart or as valuable or as capable. And, I've decided I don't want to fight that battle. I'm just going to do what I can. I'm a late bloomer that all my come to Jesus moment, understanding and clarity happened in my 50s, right? Because I was so busy doing the life that they told me I needed to have to show that I was smart, that I was successful. First of all, you have to get married, right? Because otherwise, you looked at as the other woman. You can't hang out with married people. The women are afraid to have you around their husband because they feel that you might snatch them away. And especially as you get divorced, you have to get new friends when you get divorced. Your married friends don't really want you around their husbands. So understand that. I think one of my next video is going to be about how I'm trying to figure out the title. How do we craft a joyful single life in retirement? Because, people feel like you can't be whole if you don't have a man around. Well, I've been alone for like past a decade now, and I tell you, it is good. If you can find this person, and again, watching these dramas, all the cheating that goes on, and the put down, and I'm like, Lord, I'm glad I'm out of that. But going back to the lies that we have been fed, you have to get married, otherwise, you're missing something. You're not accepted in certain circles. They look at you funny, right? And they wonder what's wrong with her. Why can't she why can't she find a man? And we settle. We settle for somebody who may not be right for us. I'll tell you one thing. As I talk to people and counsel some, especially women in domestic violence situation, you ask them and you say, were there any signs of him being an abuser that you have missed? And I can tell you, every single time they would say, yep, there were signs, but I chose to ignore them. Oh, I was in love. I was in love. So I chose to ignore it. I think I was talking to Mudiwa the other day, and we said, I'm not against arranged marriages because I think in some cases, not every single time, your parents are better judges of character than you are when you are in your teen and 20s, and they said, this one is bad news, right? And you're like, oh, I love him, I love him, I love him. And then when he starts beating you up, then you realize your mom was right. But you are so deep into it, the sense of shame, the cycle. So first you have to get married. And after you get married, you have to have a couple of kids. If you don't have children, all that stuff during the election. If you don't have children, you're kind of half a woman. You're not a full woman if you don't have children. Lord Jesus, help us. And then some of them end up having not two, but a whole football team because you see your worth based on how many kids you had. And it could be due to religious beliefs, of course. So to be a full-fledged, accepted female, you have to be married and bear children. But then society says, oh my gosh, you have 5 kids and you keep a beautiful, clean house and your husband is respected. Oh, you have a job. Oh, you need to strive to get that manager position. You need to go to school, get a master's degree. You need to hang out with the boys. Oh no, you have to sit on some boards. You have to do community service. Or what about volunteering for your kids' T-ball? You're one person, okay? And this is why so many of us are burned out. And I'm saying, I didn't come to understand all that till I was in my 50s. It was too late. So we hope we can help some young women and say, sis, you don't need to do all that. Humanly, you should not do all that because you may have pressure at home because, so many times the women, you put your husband through school, you held the job, held the house while he's rising up in his career. And as soon as he gets up there, what does he do? He finds himself a young thing because now you kind of use good. And then I look at these dramas and I'm like, but this is life. That happens to so many women. But because you've let yourself go, you are so, you bought into the image that, oh, if my kids are well dressed, well behaved, I'm at T-ball, soccer, football practice, I'm on the PTA and all that, yes, that's my value to the world. Then you forget yourself. Maybe you're not in the best physical condition. You let your brain go to sleep. You stop working. So now that man's got you. He's got his foot on your neck that says, you're nothing without me. Yes, I have an affair. Yes, I have some kids out of wedlock, but what are you going to do? You need me. And that's when the verbal, psychological abuse might happen, or you could have been dealing with it all around. He's ashamed of you. He doesn't want to take you around because you don't fit his status right now. OMG. So that is a trap we fell into, right? But on the other side, what if you decide, yes, you wanted to have your career, you weren't going to leave yourself, let yourself become stale, so to speak, and you were still going to get a job. Now, we know all about what happens in those offices and these places of employment, right? Microaggression. I don't know why anybody calls it micro. It's not micro, it's macro, right? The stuff that you have to do, you have to work 3 times harder to get the same opportunities, and you get passed on for promotion. You guys know. I'm not telling you anything. And then you still have to deal with home. You still have to deal with that jackass over there at home who is, even though you're working and contributing to the household, he still makes you feel like you're nothing. Ladies, we are survivors, okay? We are survivors. I think it's sad that we had to wait until we're older to figure things out. But you know what I say? I think even a lot of young women, if you were to say, sis, you don't need to do all that, some may not receive it well. It may not be received well. You know what they're going to say? They're not going to appreciate the fact that, sis, I was in your shoes 20 years ago, and this is what I've discovered. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to do like my son said, well, how am I going to learn if I don't make mistakes? Even though you try to keep them from going down that rabbit hole, but they want to get there on their own. And you have to say, well, it's your choice. So all you can do is try to, let them have some light. But if they don't receive it, I don't feel guilty because If somebody had come to me 20 years ago to tell me that I didn't have to do all these things, I might not have received it well. So I get it. I get it. So I understand. So I'm just sitting here in my philosophical Friday and thinking that, oh my God, women, we really are nurturers. We know that, right? But a lot of times we're not willing to listen, support, encourage each other. And I think that's a travesty that we can be in our 60s and 70s and still don't understand the power of supporting each other, right? As I said, if somebody has the slight, the slightest inkling of jealousy about you, what God or the universe has equipped you to do, arm's length. I am real good at keeping people at arm's length because I don't want any negativity around me. Like I said, we can be acquaintances. We can go out and have lunch and socialize, but the people who are in your circle, they should be your people, right? Like my friends that I have, or maybe two or three, that right now, if I were to say, sis, I need some help, I know they're right here. They would fly and be here in a moment. Those are the people I call friends, not the people who are jealous of what car you drive, where you live. You understand nothing about my story and my struggle and how much money I make. What is that? For sisterhood, love, companionship, friendship, those things are priceless, right? But the thing I want to say too, it's never too late. If you feel that you can't be happy for a sister, whatever she's doing, you need to have a come to Jesus moment and see, what is it about me that can't feel joy for this person, for what she is accomplishing? That's wrong. You need to have a talk with yourself. And I think that's when people say they went to therapy. I went to a therapist when I was going to my relationship things when I was married. This guy looked at me and said, I can help you. I'm like, I'm like, okay. And of course, you read the stories about, well, if this is happening to you, it's because you don't pay your tithes or you don't have enough faith. If you're in the church, oh my God. Or someone said, well, you're paying for what you did. All that guilt stuff they put on you. Come on, ladies. What I'm talking to you, I know I'm talking a lot today, but you got to keep moving with me, okay? Otherwise, this is not just a session. Or I'll send you my bill. This is why therapy works. It's objective assessment of what's been going on, what might have influenced you to be the person you are or how you act. And the good thing is we can all change course, but it has to be your decision to change. No one can make you change. And how you start changing is by developing, new habits. The counselor might say, okay, I want you to go volunteer twice a week. That is good for depression because it takes the focus off of you. Because, if you've been in a relationship that was toxic and you got out of it, you can support another sister who's going through it. It may not be telling her what to do. You know how it is? Just showing compassion, listening, provide companionship, and then help her where you can. People don't usually want you to give them advice. They want you to be a human to them, a friend, someone they can count on. They can call if they have something going on. That's all. Be a friend. Be a good human. And then other small habits that a counselor might say. You know, I always tell people, I'm an encourager at heart. I like to encourage people. You go, sis. You look good today. I like this. You know, some people have a hard time giving compliments. Those are the people who are like, what's the other compliment? The jealous one. She's not going to come and say, oh, I'm so happy for you, sis. No, she's so busy trying to tear you down. That person, if she wants to change, they're going to say, okay, I want you to put on your calendar, I'm going to compliment 5 people a day. Do it every day. Research shows that it takes about 2 weeks to develop a new habit, whatever the habit is. Now, if it's just working out, we just hit the 2-week point. So we're doing good, right? So whatever the habit is, try to develop more positive habits. If you want to, if you feel you just like the way you are, you want to be this hateful person who doesn't have any friends, who cannot be happy for somebody else, like I said, I can't help you because it starts here. It starts with a decision that you want to change. And we can all change. It doesn't matter how old we are, right? Okay, let's put the legs together. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can still change, but it's a decision. Change is a decision. Whew. These ones are hard, remember? It might be good hard on your knees, so be careful. But it's good for the core, your butt, your butt, and your quads, the back of your legs. So keep going and do as many as you can. And when you find you start feeling the discomfort, keep doing a few more. That's when you reshape the muscle. Come on, keep going. I'm not counting today. I'm going ad lib, but the sweat is pouring out of me. Whew. Keep going. Oh, I guess I can keep going, yeah? Good. Keep going. And you should be getting better. You should be making, you should be doing a lot more than when you got started. Yep, my rules are still here. They're here to remind me that I need to keep going. But definitely, I can feel a difference. I'm not so bloated because I haven't had any carbs. Let's see. I did have some plantain this week. I met with a sister, and now the plantains are going to be hard. I'm not going to have yuca. Oh, and I had some leftover potatoes from the live Sunday. It was maybe half a small potato. It was sliced. So I put it in this dish, and I put some marinara. Oh, and also my herb oil. Now this is the thing that I have all the time. The herb oil with potatoes and veggies, excellent. And I had a little bit of cream that was left from me making the frittata, so I put a little bit on there, some marinara, some paprika, and that was it. It was so good. But I'm not gonna have potatoes this week. I am off the grain and the carbs for a while. So for the live on Sunday, and I'm gonna be doing a poll again. They don't seem to be interested in my ratatouille, but I'm gonna make it for me because this is a really good dish with eggplant, tomatoes, zucchini, peppers, onions, so good. And of course, I'm going to use my herb oil. I'm going to put a bit of marinara. And then I'm going to, let's see, what else do I put? I'm not going to put any cream in it. But marinara, ratatouille, you cook it. And then you can either start cooking it on the stove. And then you put it in the oven. And then you can finish it off with some shaved Parmesan. Let me tell you, it's a good dish. But when you're doing low carb, you're almost going to have to put some protein on there, either fish or some meat. So there is a chicken, a butterfly chicken breast, that there is a French recipe that you do it with white wine. Oh, it's so good. I think I'll do that. Or the other choice would be to make some. Oh, I have to go get the avocado today, so it will be right by Sunday. It's not really a whack, but it's like a potato salad. I mean, the avocado salad that you put diced tomatoes and lots of, I guess you could call it a whack, but I don't like my guacamoles mashed. I like them diced. I don't like anything mashed. And cilantro and tomatoes and onion. And then I was gonna make some lettuce wraps or lettuce boats. And then for protein, I thought I would make some fish cakes. Um, but there are recipes for salmon cakes where people are using salmon from the can. Ugh, no, we're not doing we're not doing that. But I thought I could use some poached tuna. The tuna is absolutely beautiful here. Fresh tuna, poached it with the herbs and the rosemary, and then use that and put like spinach and something to bind it, and then cook it on the stove. That sounds good as a protein. What do you think? But I'll put it as a poll on the YouTube and see what the folks want to do. When I did the vegetable uh, burgers and the balls, we had over 7,000 views. I was like, "Whoa, that's amazing!" I think people are looking for alternatives to meat. You can still have some, but it's great to mix it up. Woo! Guys, this is hard. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, yikes. Yikes. All right, you're getting strong. Keep it up. All right, I'm getting ready to go to the floor. Already 37 minutes. We've been at it. I'm not a full woman, but I'm loving this experience. What does that mean? Maggie and viewers, I'm loving this. 241 with Maggie, words of wisdom. You know, sometimes I go on a rant. I'm sorry, but I hope you get a feel for what I'm trying to say. We need to stop all the nonsense. And if we don't change, we're going to be our own undoing, right? We need to support each other. What's the point of, hating on each other and not being happy for someone because you're doing something that you're not doing? I mean, you can be equipped and you can do something too. And if you want to do the same thing, go duplicate it if you want. But stop hating on each other. Stop it. I get irritated when I see that. And I walk away because I just don't have the patience for some things. I'm not a very patient person by nature. That is one of my worst faults. And especially, if my kids are acting up, I'm like, what, they don't know. But when I see a 60, 70-year-old woman acting the fool, and I'm thinking, lady, life should have taught you some lessons by now. Stop it. You should be, instructing the younger generation, be an example for them. What are you doing? You don't know how long you have left, right? You want to just spread joy and flowers wherever you go. Help people, love on people, encourage people, help people. When I say, if you hear that Maggie passed away tomorrow or today, we just say she's lived her best life, even though she was a late bloomer. But I know some people have a little bit of a trouble with self-esteem because of their history or what happened to them. But your past is just that, your past. Quit carrying that on. Well, my daddy did this. You're never gonna bloom, sis, if you don't let go of that. Yes, it happened to you. I empathize, I truly do. But it can't be something that you're carrying around like a crutch, like, well, I can't do that because. I can't do that because. You're limiting yourself. No one can limit you but you. You are only limited in our mind. Okay? All right, maybe I should just stop. I've gotten on many soapboxes today. Ooh, get some water. Remember, hydrate. I've been sweating. Now I sweat all down my leg. Woo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh! I did 25 yesterday, 30 today. Now that's progress, okay? Let me stretch. Oh, stretch, stretch, stretch. You know we're gonna have to do our bladder exercises. We have to do that. All right, I'm getting closer to feeling my hip bone, but the fat is still there. All right, more twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Progress, yes. That is so good. So good. All right, let's do the bladder. Kegel, Kegel, I don't know how they say exercises, okay? Put your heels with your shoes right there. So you have a little elevation, a little bit, not like this, just like this, right? And then you're gonna hold, and then we're gonna breathe in, as we always do. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna inhale, and then hold at the exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Then exhale, and hold. Hold. Tighten. Tighten. You should feel the tightness in your buttocks. Make sure that your lower back is on the ground. Hold. Hold. Tight. And then consciously pull in. Pull. I'm going to get rid of this. My name is Maggie. But I know I have to shed fat to do that. So now we're pulsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, tight. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Woo! That's 60. Tight. Hold it. Suck it in. And then hold. Hold. Pull in. Pull in towards the ground. Pull. 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 Hold it. Pull. 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 Whew. All right. Let it go. And stretch it. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. That feels so good. All right, we're going to do opposite. See if we can sit up and elevate one leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 2 more. 1, 2. Ow. Did you feel that? Whew. All right, we got to stretch the back, the lower back. Every time you tighten, you have to constantly release and stretch. Always release and stretch. Okay, that's good. Let's see. What else can we do here? All right, let's see if we can keep our legs down and see if we can come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, you know why it's so hard? Because this belly is in the middle. It's in the way. Oh my gosh. That is so good. That is so good. All right, let's stretch. Go down as low as you can. Stretch your back. Stretch the inner thighs. Whew, this is good. And then go down. I've seen people with their head touching that. I'm not that flexible. Don't try. Oh, that is so good. Inhale up. And I have to do my jumping jack. Sorry. All right. We're going to finish off with the trusted jumping jacks. All right. Are you guys keeping up? Excelente. Whew. Oh, that makes me feel so good every time I work out. And I look out, I see the sun, you know, and then you have a heart of gratitude, always. That's another thing we tell people to do who tend to be depressed. We say every day, wake up and name 5 things you're thankful for. Well, I could say I'm thankful that I woke up, I have health, I don't have chronic illnesses, I can see, I can hear, I'm in my right mind. Yes, I forget names, but eventually they come to me. So, and also I'm going to be doing a talk on Alzheimer's disease. How do we prepare? How do we understand as we age? It's going to be on site, but I will be sure to record that and post it, okay? Because I think it's so important. With everything else we worry about, I think our mind is one of the things that we worry about the most. All right, remember that if you have bad knees, you can always do this as a modification. But me, I'm gonna try. Let's see if I go through 70 today. I'm up to 60, but let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. That was 70. How many did you do? Whew. It's good for your heart. But don't start wanting to do 70, okay? And remember, I have been exercising on and off. Even if I fall off the rail, when I come back, it's not like really starting from scratch because your body remembers. Your body remembers that you've been working out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Sun salute, up, pull, 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 pull. And then come down, grab your ankle, stretch the back of your legs, your buttocks. Then hands on your knees, look straight ahead, stretching your back, your side. You can do your shoulders if you want. Oh, that's good. Bend your knees and up. We can do it here. Up. Stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Then come down. Come down. Hands on the ground. Let your head hang. Whew. That was a good one today. But I think they're good every day, right? Put your legs in. And just do your neck. Don't forget your neck. Not leave pressure on any joints, right? Thyroid. All right. We're nice and loose. Whew. How'd you do today? Time is short. Yes, ma'am. We don't know when it's going to be our turn to go. And you know what? With everything going on around the world these days, I was talking to God. I was like, it's okay. I'm okay with it. It happens today, tomorrow. I'm totally fine. I am not someone who wants to hang on to life like this. I don't hang on to anything that tight. And as I was, when I was a mom, and I started to believe that God gives us kids to train, then you have to let them go. You don't hang on to anyone, kids, husband, possessions. When it's taken away, then, okay, what's next? I move on. Have a great day, everybody. Lynette, yes, live with intention. See you next time. Okay, wonderful. I was trying to decide. I want to climb, I want to hike one day next week. And that might be something I do as I'm on this challenge. Just break it up a little bit. And one day go up Encon Hill. And I'll still do it as a live. But you guys can see. Because when you're working out, you want to kind of confuse your body a little bit. If you're doing the same thing all the time, then it becomes routine and you may not see results. That's why if you alternate with running or walking or hiking or swimming, it's kind of good uh, to switch it out. Tarek Ramadan, you always hear in my comments. Yes, we don't need to be preaching to anybody. Okay, thank you. All right, guys. Do you have any question for me? It's beautiful. Let's see what's the temperature here in Panama today. Sometimes it tells me 81, which is not bad. That's a good temperature for Panama. Yesterday I was able to keep my doors really open. Where my apartment is, even though I'm looking at the water, I don't have any open windows in the back, which is where the wind usually comes in. And some people who have windows, I only have front windows. I don't have windows on the back, that's behind the elevators. And sometimes I go put the trash out in the wind, and I wish I could just leave my door open, but you're a single person, you don't to invite anybody, and they have workers working, so you still have to be careful. So, yes, guys, we can't align to certain men once your mind has been expanded and you go, yeah, some people just, oh my God, they just can't allow room for other people to shine. And that happens a lot. And that's why they talk about being unequally yoked. You can't be growing and the person is stuck in one stage. That's usually what happens with the divorce. It's like I'm growing, I'm improving, and you just stuck in the same spot. So it's hard for you to communicate because there's no goal, there's no vision. It's sad. It is very sad. All right, guys, if you don't have any questions, I'm just going to sign off, take my shower, and yeah, I'm going to be ready for my date. Oh, I have plenty of time. So, yeah. So next week, I'm going to be interviewing a sister, and all my sisters, I already did Greta. So people who have moved, just to inspire other women. I'll see you back on Monday. This is a busy weekend. Of course, of course. Good weekend. Oh my God, Mother's Day in the US. You know, in Panama, the expats celebrate Mother's Day on Sunday, but the Panamanians celebrate in December. So with SWRA, we decided to do it in December with the locals. So happy Mother's Day, everybody. All right. Enjoy your day. So be good. Go compliment some people. Be a good human, a good sister, an encourager. All right? That's the only way to go. Bye. God bless. Mwah.